Welcome back to Pueblo, Colorado, the 22nd annual Joe Santos tournament. We have AAA Plumbing, who's the home team, against Colorado Badcats. Up to bat is Riley Blanco, who has one ball on the count already. That ball's high, 2 balls, no strikes. That ball's grounded out over to the first baseman. He gets there just in time for out number 1. Yadier Chirinos. The Badcats shortstop. Chirinos disagrees that he went. Cesar Delgado, the pitcher for AAA Plumbing. Dan's Paint and Auto. His catcher is Carlos Vela. Got 1-1 on Chirino. Yadier Chirinos takes a swing at that one. And he has words for the first base umpire. As three pitches ago, he called a strike when he didn't think he went. That's dug up in the dirt by Carlos Vela. This is Kevin Herrera, the Badcats catcher. Badcats out of Salida, Colorado. It's a big swing by Herrera. Not a strike there. Chirino, comes from Venezuela. That's another strikeout on Kevin Herrera. So AAA Plumbing, Dan's Auto Body and Paint, put the Badcats down 1-2-3, the top of the first. We'll take a break and be right back. Welcome back to Pueblo, Colorado. The Joe Santos Memorial Fastball Tournament held here at Joe Santos Field, Bessemer, Colorado. Top half of the first inning, we had the Bad Cats, and they went down 1-2-3. AAA Plumbing, Dan's Paint, comes in the bottom half of this first inning, and their leadoff hitter will be Carlos Vela. Getting down to the final teams. I mistakenly said that Manderson A's were no longer in the tournament, but they're alive and well. They have a game, I believe, after this. JD Morales, the pitcher, called strike on Carlos Vela. That stays outside on Vela. Huh? Manderson plays the winner of this game. It's a ground out. Ground out to the third baseman. Now we have Danny Vigil. JD Morales has an issue with his throwing finger. Appears to be okay. Probably a blister. We have Danny Vigil. He fouls that off the right field dugout.
Bad Cats and AAA Plumbing.
Fouled it off just about the same. That ball is high. One ball, two strikes for Danny Vigil. That's fouled off. Kevin Herrera did not like that call. Kevin Herrera made the sound of the call, but Ruben did not make that call. He disagreed. And that's inside. Three balls, two strikes. Bottom of the first here for AAA Plumbing. Daniel Vigil takes a cut at that one, missing for strike three and out number two. Now we have JJ Ortiz. That catches the outside corner for strike one. That's high, 1-1.
Lucky grinder now that I'm over here.
1 ball, 2 strikes on J.J. Ortiz.
Grinder and pizza. Never come on this side of town for that stuff.
And catches the inside corner. J.J. Ortiz does not agree with that. He disagrees with that call. Well, we got three outs here. Top and bottom of the first inning, scoreless here in Pueblo, Colorado. And we will be back with the top half of the second inning after a few commercial breaks.
You're a true friend. You make everybody feel important. You show up through thick and thin. I'm Jay Rickstrew with Alpine Bank. At Alpine Bank, when you walk into a branch, you'll be greeted with friendly hello and with a warm smile. Because the best way to build trust is by caring. We care about our customers, our employees, and our communities. We care about you.
That ball just kept on floating.
We all know you have a stereo used box.
Sanchez takes a big cut at that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Carlos Sanchez. And that's called strike 3.
See, these guys are upset at everything.
We have J.D. Morales. He's facing Cesar Delgado, the pitcher from AAA Plumbing. Dan's Auto. 0-1. It's a pop fly. It's going to take right fielder back, and he's not going to be able to track it, and he bounces right off the fence. J.D. Morales, the triple. Josiah Nava ran out of real estate. Luckily, he hit the middle of the fence and not the pole.
That dog went jumping
But
onto the fence.
the fence kind of shot him back into the right field area. The dog jumped up going for the ball too. That's a ball, gets away from Vela. He's able to track it down. And JD Morales stays at third. This is Mike Segura, the third baseman for the Colorado Badcats. That misses high and outside. That gets by, and JD's stuck in the middle. And Borjon gets there to makes the call and says he is safe.
He doesn't hesitate. He got him, but he hesitated.
It's called strike. Swing and a miss. Full count on Mike Segura. Segura draws a walk. And we have number 11, Javi Martinez. Runners on first and third, one out. Here in the top of the second inning. That runner goes halfway as AAA's Nick Contreras is playing halfway between home and first. So Segura went just as far away from first as Contreras was. You'll probably see the same thing here. No balls, 2 strikes on Javi Martinez. Strikes him out, and Segura heads over to second base. This is Bobby Cruz, the first baseman. Runners in scoring position for Cruz, who checks, swings, foul ball into the stands. Strike 2, no balls and 2 strikes for Bobby Cruz. Gets him swinging for out number 3. So Cesar Delgado gets AAA out of a little bit of a jam and holds the Badcats, or keeps the Badcats from scoring. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back for the bottom half of the second inning here in Pueblo, Colorado. Welcome back to the Joe Santos Memorial Tournament in its 22nd year. Cesar Delgado, the pitcher, hits a line drive to right field. And here comes J.J. Ortiz as his courtesy runner.
Jackson from next door.
What did J.J. Ortiz do his first time?
Hey.
Contreras, the batter, facing J.D. Morales. That's called strike. It's inside. 2 balls, 1 strike on Nick Contreras. Takes a swing at that one, evens out the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Swings at that one. Strike 3. Now we have Mike Garcia. We'll see if his kids are here. If so, we'll be cheering on for their dad. Fouls that one off. Ooh, that's inside. Garcia chases after that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Garcia. J.J. Ortiz running for Delgado on first base. Fouls that one off. And he is out. It's 2 outs. Really no call on that other than pumping of the fist. We got 2 outs. This is Ray Ariano, third baseman for AAA Plumbing, Dan's Paint and Auto Body. And that gets by Cruz. As Bergstedt snags it over at second. Bobby Cruz just misjudged that one at first base. For 2 outs, Johnny Adams up to bat. He takes a cut at that one, just a tad behind. Another swing. Seems to be just a tad behind. 77 miles per hour coming from J.D. Morales. Kevin Herrera, his catcher. Fouls that one off. As you can see, it's just a tad late. Ortiz at second. Ray Ariano at first, and Johnny Adams takes a big swing at that one and strikes out for out number 3. So after 2 complete innings, we're still locked up at zeros. We've seen the last few games, very little runs, a lot of pitching. So we'll see how this one pans out. We'll be back after a few short messages. Welcome back to Joe Santos Field. As we start the top of the 3rd inning. The 9th hitter, Bjorn Borgstedt. One count. Vela takes that right off the forearm. Delgado, the pitcher, gets Borgstead swinging for out number 1. We have Riley Blanco out of Venezuela. He looks that one away. That gets just past the second baseman, Johnny Adams. Thought for a second he might have had it. And that was hit pretty hard by Riley Blanco. Brings up Yadier Chirinos, shortstop for the Bad Cats. Shakes that one off outside. No, shakes his head again. Chirinos continues to be non-verbally vocal. No, no more. 3-0 on Chirinos. No, not again. Very entertaining at bat, even without having to swing a bat for Chirinos, who draws a walk. Brings up the catcher, Kevin Herrera, who still, as far as I've seen, has the longest home run of the tournament. This was on Friday. They already asked us. I would say ask other coaches or players, because if they're pitchers, they probably carry it in their bag. I have multiple people here looking for crazy glue, and I think it's because JD Morales might have broke some skin and needs to do a quick repair. And that is a strike. 2 balls. Strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Just under halfway through the allotted time on the score clock. 37:45. And that's a big swing. And Carlos Vela hangs on to it. So Kevin Herrera goes down swinging for the second time. Now we have Carlos Sanchez, the left fielder. Big swing by Carlos Sanchez. Swings that helmet almost off his head. Vigil makes a diving play to end the inning, as Bad Cats had runners on first and second, and they were looking to push a run, but they're unable to after that diving play by Daniel Vigil to end the inning. We will come back after a short break to see the bottom half of this third inning here at Joe Santos Field. We're back here, Joe Santos Field, where Josiah Nava is up to bat. He just fouled one off to the right side. This is his first at bat, and he's taking advantage of it, being aggressive with the bat, which is good to see. It's good to see Nava okay, because he did have quite the big collision into the fence earlier in this game. And he looks very young and resilient. And he catches the corner. Strike three. JD Morales finds some super glue, because I might need to borrow some too from taking all these notes. It's a bit outside. Jeff has one too. Notes and updating the scoreboard. Carlos Vela, who grounded out to the third baseman, his first at bat. And he gets a hold of that one. Did he get enough of it? Does not look like, as Riley Blanco tracks that down. Probably one of the deepest parts of the field. So a long fly out to the center fielder for out number 2. So Morales has made quick work of the first 2 batters. And now he faces Daniel Vigil, who hits a ground ball to the second baseman. That's bobbled by Borgstead, but he's able to get control of it. And that might be a 5-pitch inning or so for JD Morales. So our commercial break seemed to be a lot longer than our half inning here. Nevertheless, we come back with the top of the 3rd inning here at top of the 4th at Joe Santos Field.
You're a true friend. You make everybody feel important. You show up through thick and thin. I'm Jay Rickstrew with Alpine Bank. At Alpine Bank, when you walk into a branch, you'll be greeted with friendly hello and with a warm smile. Because the best way to build trust is by caring. We care about our customers, our employees, and our communities. We care about you.
All right, welcome back here to Pueblo, Colorado at the Joe Santos 22nd Annual Memorial Tournament. We are in deep to Championship Sunday. As Cesar Delgado delivers a pitch to JD Morales. And that is 1 ball, 1 strike as Morales fouls that out towards the Bessemer Park pool. That's a strike where Morales started off with 2 off-speed pitches and then comes back and fires that one. miss. J.D. Morales. Mike Segura. Third baseman drew a walk his first at bat and grounds the ball to the third baseman. Third baseman makes quick work of him. That's Ray Ariano on third base.
And these are getting to be fast innings. Nobody scored.
At the top of the fourth inning, 2 outs. These last couple of half innings, pitchers are working kind of fast. That's a swing and a miss. Misses that on the outside corner. This is Javier Martinez. 2-2 count on Martinez. Delgado comes with it. Javi Martinez is able to hold back on that one. Martinez struck out his first at bat. Got 3-2 count with 2 outs. Top of the fourth inning. I guess it was not 3-2.
It was 2-2.
Well, now I think we're 3-2.
Now it's 3-2.
Oh, umpire calls that for out number 3.
Ruben's gonna get killed this week.
That was a close one. Not sure where that was at, but nevertheless, Ruben Casals calls that a strike, and so we'll take another break and come back for the bottom of the fourth here at the Joe Santos Memorial Tournament. Welcome back to Pueblo, Colorado, to the Joe Santos Memorial Fastball Tournament. We have Bad Cats out of Salida, Colorado, and AAA Plumbing, Dan's Paint and Body out of Pueblo, Colorado. J.D. Morales serves up a pitch to where was a good hit there by J.J. Ortiz.
Here we go.
And that kind of fired up the crowd. This first 3 innings have been a little quiet. So they're going to make Cesar Delgado walk all the way to first.
Okay.
He's going to walk all the way to first just to walk all the way back to the dugout. Ain't that a shame?
Yep. Look.
And here comes Daniel
Rotational run.
Vigil.
Rotational one.
Oh, why they? That's even a rule. Nick Contreras, the batter. Oh, that was probably not a good pitch to bunt. That was pretty low right off the plate. Now he's 0-2. It's fouled off the plate. So Dan's has something going here with runners on first and second. No outs. Ruben Casal says that's a little inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Nick Contreras. And he swings on that one for out number 1. We got Mike Garcia. That's a swing and a miss. That one went off the catcher, Kevin Herrera. He takes a moment to shake that one off. That ball is inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tipped for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That ball is 70 miles an hour. Ooh, that ball had some movement on it. And that kind of glided out of the strike zone. From where I'm sitting right in the backstop here, that ball was moving. And Garcia is able to stay alive and foul that one off. He's got a 2-2 count on him. Mike Garcia goes down looking for out number 2. What looked to be promising with runners on first and second to start the inning off. It's now got to where they're at two outs. And Ray Arellano, the batter. Ray Arellano did single his last time up. Called strike. was a little outside. 1-1. Two one, sorry. Ariano takes a big swing at that one. That's inside. So now we got a full count. So the runners will get a head start with 2 outs. And this might be an opportunity where a base hit could bring in 1, possibly 2. And he does foul it off, but Herrera is able to hold on to that. So started off as promising with 2 runners on base, ends up faltering where we're still locked up after 4 innings at 0.
You're a true friend. You make everybody feel important. You show up through thick and thin. I'm Jay Rickstrew with Alpine Bank. At Alpine Bank, when you walk into a branch, you'll be greeted with friendly hello and with a warm smile. Because the best way to build trust is by caring. We care about our customers, our employees, and our communities. We care about you.
We're back here at Joe Santos Field for the Joe Santos Memorial Fastball Tournament. Have AAA Plumbing against Bad Cats, and that came right back at me. And we are in a bit of a duel as we are about 15 and a half minutes left in the play clock in the top of the 5th inning, and we are still at 0s. There have been some opportunities for both teams with runners in scoring position, runners on base with no outs. Lots of opportunities, but they have all squandered as the pitchers really get a better grip when those times come about. Cesar Delgado gets Bobby Cruz swinging. Now we have number 20, Bjorn Bergestedt. Grounded out to the shortstop. That's Daniel Vigil. As we see that on the replay. Daniel kind of scoops it on the side, takes a step and throws it to first. And that ball's laced to the right side. That's going to be extra bases. That's Riley Blanco headed to third with the second hit of the game. So here we are again with another opportunity. This one for the Bad Cats. Got a runner on third with 2 outs. And the big Jadair Chirinos, the shortstop, comes up.
Oh, they're walking.
And they're going to walk him. That's the intentional walk on Chirinos. And they either would rather face Kevin Herrera or intentionally walk him too. But Kevin Herrera, like I mentioned earlier, has hit the longest home run that I've seen here over this weekend. This is a tough situation.
Fielder. Or shortstop, I mean.
Short catcher, left. The big 3 here with, I think, are very intimidating batters with Blanco's no slouch, but Chirinos, Herrera, and Sanchez. Pretty intimidating batters, in my opinion. Ooh, and that comes in close to Herrera. Two balls, 1 strike for Kevin Herrera. And that is a strike, and I think Kevin kind of knew when you see that break in the pitch that was going to end up in the zone.
I was there.
2 balls, 2 strikes. That was a good pitch. And he does go for it, and that is a good choice for AAA, as they're able to get Kevin Herrera swinging to end the inning. And again, some opportunities, and they're all just kind of not coming to fruition. So we'll take another break with 11 minutes left on the score clock. Welcome back to Joe Santos Field. We're at 9 minutes remaining on the clock. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. Someone just decided to interrupt me. That's Johnny Adams who grounds out to the third baseman for out number 1. Zach for Josiah. We have Zach Mays coming in for Josiah Nava.
Good move, left-handed batter.
And that gets through for a base hit as Zach Mays comes in with a clutch hit. And I'm wondering if we're going to see a re-enter. Zach seems to be hobbling a little bit, so that's probably why he hasn't been in the game. Ruben, we're okay to do that after the hit. He could.
Good coaching move there. Looks like the left-handed in there left.
Yeah. I saw Zach Mays in the parking lot. I overheard him saying that he had some kind of injury. So that's probably why he hasn't been in this game, because he's been a pretty regular starter. He comes in at a clutch situation and does the job. So with 2 balls, no strikes on Carlos Vela, he does have a base runner ahead of him. And that gets away from Herrera. So with 3-0, they don't want to chance it, and they're going to move Vela over. And that doesn't really hurt because it actually is an advantage to keep the force out for the Bad Cats. And then we're going to have a courtesy runner for the catcher. So you're seeing a lot of strategy in play, especially towards the end of the game here. So no balls, no strikes here. And that's a good play there by J.D. Morales, but he might have had a better play at second. Guess it doesn't really matter if he goes to second, because a runner that truly matters right now is the runner on third. He's got J.J. Ortiz, who has a strikeout and a double. And that's a troublesome hopper. But that play is made by the shortstop, Chirinos. You see, kind of throws his fist in the air, because that was a great play and a timely play as well, because Ortiz is a fast runner. But that's it for the bottom half of the 5th inning. We will take a break and come back for the top half of the 6th inning with 4.5 minutes left on the game clock. All right, we're back here in the top of the 6th inning. Ground ball hit to Daniel Vigil, and that's thrown up, but he's able to track it down. So Daniel Vigil makes the play to first on close call throw, and that was Carlos Sanchez with that ground ball. Got JD Morales. Oh. And Delgado slips on that one. It's a ground ball. The second baseman, and that play is made. That's Johnny Adams on second base as Morales grounds out to him for out number 2. Now we have Mike Segura. It's my Bob alarm. That ball's fouled off. Mike Segura, third baseman. Seems like Delgado might have a little bit of footing problem. So I'm sure that mound is pretty chewed up by now. That's called a strike, and Segura disagrees. 106, 86 degrees, but it feels a lot cooler than that with the sun behind the clouds.
Still more new ones in there, right? Yeah. We'll throw new ones out.
And that is swung and tipped and caught.
2 new ones left.
We're gonna go the California rule as Mike Garcia strikes out. So Mike Garcia, oh, never mind. All right, we're back. And at the plate, we have Javier Martinez. On second base, we have Mike Segura. We have a California rule. So we have a runner on both teams will have an opportunity to see what they can do with the runner on second base. And that is with no outs. Swing and a miss for Javier Martinez. So Delgado starts off with a strikeout. Now we have Carlos Segura in for Bobby Cruz. And he shows a bunt. And he pulls it back. Got Contreras creeping up on Carlo. And that is outside. I mentioned this yesterday. Carlo has kind of a unique energy, but he has come through the chances that he's had. And goes for a swing there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I think how he holds that pose after the swing. So he's got 1 ball, 2 strikes. Segura with the bat in his hands. He swings and misses. That's for out number 2.
This guy's dangerous.
We got Bjorn Bergstedt. Two outs with Segura on second. Bergstedt takes a swing at that one. Got 0-1. See the energy kind of lifted a little bit in the stands as this game has gone 5 full innings, scoreless ball. And now we're to the point where we need to figure out who's going to win this game. That ball's hit center field.
I get all nervous.
The center fielder, J.J. Ortiz, tracks that down.
Oh!
And then he a fall in the outfield. But anyhow,
So we should have
there's no score in the top half of the 6th inning. We'll come back with Mike Garcia on second base to see what AAA can do. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. We're the bottom half of the 6th inning where AAA has the opportunity, if they could get Mike Garcia in from second base, that will end the game. AAA, home team.
keep whoever wins, keep the same lineup.
Got Bad Cats. Ray Arellano taking some big cuts. Ground ball to the right side would work. Base hit, obviously. Sacrifice fly. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Catches Ray Arellano looking for out number 1. We have Johnny Adams up to bat.
It's the same as the other one.
One ball, 1 strike for Johnny Adams.
Uh-oh, that's trouble.
And Adams is called out. That does advance Mike Garcia.
Nava could be the champ. He could be the all-star. Could earn his stripes right here.
So Nava, who it appears is kind of the newest of the group, as I've seen this team play a lot, gives him the chance to save the day. Just a hit is all that's needed. And he goes in, going for it hard, which I appreciate. No sense going in and timid. Hit it where it's at. Make them make a play. Get that run in is what he's hoping. But JD Morales is quite the pitcher, and that is fouled off as well. Sayanava takes 1 ball, 2 strikes. That is outside. So JD is trying to get him to chase something. But no, Nava has stayed composed. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Base hit wins it. Oh, that was called strike 3. I'd like to see where that was on the strike cam. Look at that.
So last out was Bjorn.
All right, we'll figure out who's on second base. Give us a moment, and we'll be right back for the top of the 7th here in Pueblo, Colorado. All right, we're back here in Nail Biter 0-0 game. We got Bjorn Borgeson at second base. He was the last out of the previous inning. And then we are at the top of the lineup for the Colorado Badcats, and that leaves us with Riley Blanco, who has 1 strike on him. So we're in the same situation. We're playing a full inning. If we end out even, we keep going. But whoever ends up the most runs wins the game, obviously. But last inning, Badcats were unable to move their runner in to score. And then Dan's had the same opportunity and they were unable to. And that's just attributed to the type of pitching these guys are facing with JD Morales and Cesar Delgado. And that's strike 3. So now we have 1 out with Chirinos up. Let's see. So AAA
No walk.
has decided to intentionally walk Chirinos, which ended up being a good call the last time they did it. We'll see what happens here. I'm just hesitant to trust that Herrera isn't going to do something like that. Bjorn is in. So Kevin Herrera had 3 strikeouts in a row. Comes in at the top of the 7th for a single in between shortstop and third. How come we have 0-0? Oh, that's exactly what the score. So now we have a 1-run game. We finally get a run in the 7th inning. Now we have Carlos Sanchez. He sends that over to the mini McDonald's.
You good on balls? Need any? Okay.
One ball, 1 strike on Carlos Sanchez. And that off speed gets him swinging. Get the break on that pitch. He calls that strike 3. And you don't see too much argument from Sanchez on that one. The pitcher, JD Morales. It's fouled off the left side. Ball outside, 2 balls, 1 strike.
We have 2 down on there.
So we're looking for whoever just made that last out.
Carlos Sanchez was the last.
Carlos Sanchez.
Carlos Sanchez is last out, Ruben. I'm a late to be calling like that. Oh, man.
2 balls, 1 strike.
Softball gods hate us.
4:15. Got him swinging. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Gonna be home at 9 o'clock.
Full count on JD Morales.
5.
And that's ball 4 for JD Morales. Now we have Mike Segura.
.45 was supposed to be championship game.
Called strike.
Give tough fish the size of your coat.
Oh.
You deserve a coat, hat, shirt, shoes.
Swing and chops that foul. Foul ball to the right side.
Ooh, got him on the leg. Well, it's only 1 run.
Bases loaded here for Mike Segura. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He could really open this up, or on the other side, give AAA their chance. Stuck that bat out there. It's a close one. The crowd seemed to think that that was a strike, but I think it was probably a bit outside. Well, that's for whoever plans to watch this tonight. I see that that was a good call, but Ruben, and
No. 2-2.
now it's full count.
Full count.
Full count with 2 outs here for Mike Segura. 2.
We gotta play another. The winner has to play right after this.
And they got to give him a few minutes to. Another run comes in off the Mike Segura walk.
The guy that just went in. The guy that just went in was Yadier, number 8. Number 8. No, he's not. The guy that just scored would be number 8. Yeah, number 8. That's 18. That's an out. If it's a guy that scored, it would be 8. If it's an out, it's Carlos Sanchez. Oh, come on. What more can you say at this point?
This is Javi Martinez. He has 3 strikeouts this game, and he gets this one in play to Daniel Vigil, who gets the force out at second base. So we'll come back to the bottom of the 7th with Dan's Auto AAA Plumbing down by 2 with the runner on second base, which will be Josiah Nava. All right, we're back here in Pueblo, Colorado at the 22nd annual Joe Santos Memorial Fastball Tournament. We've had a tight game. We're in the 7th inning. This is the second extra inning with the California rule. Top half of the 7th, Bad Cats were able to put 2 runs up. Now we have Josiah Nava on second base with the leadoff hitter, Carlos Vela. And that's fouled off the right side. Been a lot of pitches thrown this game and in this tournament by these pitchers. These two in particular. Delgado and Morales. And that's fouled out of play. Got 1 ball, 2 strikes on Carlos Vela. Oh, off the elbow. I hope most of it is on the pad he's wearing. But even that still hurts. You tell you these guys know each other in and out. He's gonna get one probably here. Anyway, being the catcher, so he's hit by a pitch. Hope he's all right. And again, he has to walk all the way to first base and walk all the way back to the dugout.
Hustle!
That's Johnny Adams, is his courtesy runner. So first and second with Daniel Vigil, the batter. No outs. Infield fly rule is on. And that's fouled off. Hard ground ball, bobbled by the shortstop. Has no play anywhere. We have bases loaded, and Chirinos is frustrated with himself. This is crazy. Anything can happen. Truly. Last game, anything can happen.
Grand slam.
We got J.J. Ortiz with bases loaded. The infield, not too shallow. I don't know. Maybe bring the corners in. Corners could go home in 1. Middle infield could turn a traditional 2. That's just one option. It's a ground ball. Chirinos hesitates to go home. But there is one run that comes across. And that's Josiah Nava. We have Daniel Vigil at second. J.J. Ortiz at first with 1 out. Ball's called strike on Cesar Delgado. Delgado's a dangerous hitter. That ball's called a strike. No balls, 2 strikes on Cesar Delgado. And that gets through. And that's going to tie the ball game at the very least, as Daniel Vigil makes his way home on a Delgado base hit.
In the outfield will score it. Your last out would be the last inning would be Nava.
Wait. We got thrown out at third.
Yeah, that was Vela. Carlos Vela.
But
Hold
he-
on.
But he had
Ruben, hold on.
a runner.
The runner that got thrown out at third base was Carlos Vela, number 55.
But he had a runner.
So it will go to. It has to go to Nava.
Yeah, he can't run again, right?
Well, he re-entered as a runner. Hold on a minute. Let me get Ruben over here.
Take your time.
Hold on. Ruben. I'm calling him. Ruben. Okay, so Carlos Vela, he was our last out. He got thrown out at third base. But he had a runner for him.
He's in the game.
He's in the game, and so is Nava. He came in because in the previous inning he was out, the third out, but then he started the day on second
The last
base.
scheduled hitter.
Yeah, the last scheduled hitter then would be that scored was Danny Vigil.
Dan Villa would be up there.
Number 2.
Looks like
Is that number 2?
that is Daniel Vigil on first base.
That's him.
I will
One
let
down. Guys on.
ISC scorekeeper and ISC umpire iron that one out. I'm just here to talk. This is Nick Contreras. He comes up to bat with runners on first and third. One out. You might see this. You might see Daniel Vigil run right here when he Contreras with 2 strikes. No balls, 2 strikes for Contreras. With the winning run on third base, that's JJ Ortiz. And there goes Daniel. And there's the ground ball. And Ortiz comes in to win the game on a Contreras ground ball to the shortstop. Heck of a game. We had to go through 2 different extra innings. So we will leave it at that. Bad Cats will be playing up this next game against Manderson A's. We'll take a break. We'll be back shortly.